from that. Pardon?
That was this thing.
It was just,
Oh, like got lost there.
What is this thing?
so where were you saying you were talking about this?
Okay, in front of that garage for 30 feet. Yes, there's water upon it. And you get water in there when the renter waters his lawn and you go take care of it. In the middle of the summer, it'll fill up with water.
Because it's a hole.
Because it's a hole and water runs downhill. But as far as from that, there, clear back to the railroad tracks, clear back to over to Rubio's, we never have any water trouble there. And we've lived there for 30 years. So I think what you're saying is bogus. I don't think it's true. And I ask you, how would you prove this?
You mean about the value of your property?
No,
Or
he says he says it's a hole of water. The value of the property goes down.
What I'm saying is, when we put in curb and gutter from the center line of the road, it flows downhill into that curb. That curb will then take it and collect it and take care of it under underground system without flowing down towards the garage. Now, that's the garage I'm talking about. I'm not talking about your home to the north. But it still will collect the water off the road and deal with the water off the road, and it won't continue to flow onto your property.
But what you're saying is not true. The water doesn't come off the road, onto our property, onto the lawn, into that driveway, ever. It's no problem. Let's call it where it's at, Bart. It's not a problem.
well,
You're making one up. You're making a problem that's not there. But we're not gonna solve it. But I'm saying I appreciate where there is a hole in the front of the garage. Yes, no sweat, paint, straight. But the rest of that is, but you take that, what the realtor said, and there's two of them, say it'll cost us about, say, 10 to 15%. Do you realize how much money that is?
No, sir.
I can tell you, it's gonna cost me, the evaluation cost me about $35,000. That's on one of the pieces of property that I have. I happen to have two others. The one directly to the north of my house, and I own 3130. So I'm looking, you're taking from me about roughly plus or minus $70,000.
who was that realtor that told you that?
It's Lynn's wife.
Well, we don't know whether it will or not, right? I mean, that was their opinion. I think you'll find realtors.
Why in the hell
that
would it
tell
go
you
up?
that.
Because I can tell you right now,
I
since
think our
So with the
they're
growth out
in
there,
this business.
yeah, we've had realtor appraisers and things like that work for us. And we'll go back to your Lincoln Road example. Those homes actually went up in value. There's homes that are selling that went up in value with the curb and gutter that's actually made it safer for kids, pedestrians, and their frontage, and it's adding a value in front of your property
let me
rather
ask
than.
you a question. How many people walk down those sidewalks that you put them in?
There's actually a significant increase, especially on the Lincoln Road where there's that high school there. They were walking in the mud and the water, and this has made a safe place for them. With the new high school out here, this will help.
You're
pedestrian
on
traffic.
Lincoln.
I'm on Lincoln, and then on the
That's
reason,
Iona. Iona is the one that goes down through there. Lincoln's over on the other side.
Lincoln High School, by
Lincoln, you're talking the alternative school?
the alternative high school, there was numerous kids there and traffic was backed up a lot. And now with the new high school out here on 45th on Crowley, we've seen numerous kids walking
Yeah,
in
they're
the
walking
ditch
down
bank.
that, what is it, Too Good to Go to Cougars. They'll have a new service station there.
The Maverick, or
Yeah,
the one,
no, the one down there.
Good to go.
yeah,
Good to go, there you go.
yeah, they're walking in the mud and
How
salt.
in the hell they get there? You get there out of school and then back to class all the time.
But I think the point that he's making is they found when they added curb and gutter that it increased the property values.
Families want to move there and things like that. It increases the value of having that appeal.
But there's got no families coming in there because the land is all used.
Well,
On Crowley in front of my house, there's no opportunity. I think, gentlemen, I'll just be honest, I think you're pulling up our taxpayers' money. Okay, next question I've got. Why was this road not done before you had all those subdivisions and all those houses? In other words, to me, I think you got the cart before the horse.
So you're saying the road should have been improved?
Why wasn't it done before?
Because of lack of funding, because the county only has so much money and we tackle the very worst the very greatest need first. And
Okay.
so there were other roads that had to have priority over it.
But you talk money. What's the bill for the contractors for the 3 miles of road that you're putting in now? It just absolutely blew me away.
Oh, it blew us away too.
It's over $16 million.
$18 million. Now, the next question I've got, why was the design of the road changed?
what do you mean changed?
The design and the width of that road has changed. Shake your head and say yes.
This is the,
Whoa,
what design?
Have you been around the roundabouts on the end of First Street?
The First Street and 40 and Crowley Road? Yes.
All 3 of those roundabouts have got in now. Curb, gutter, and sidewalk. And you go down there and you can plainly see it 10 yards, driving by at 20 miles an hour, that it is inside of the dimensions that you're gonna put the road. So you're either gonna tear out that concrete,
We are
Curb.
going to tear out the concrete.
gutter. Now, you talk money.
Not all of it.
Well, no.
We're retaining a significant amount of it, but it was built for a 2-lane to be tore out in the future.
Okay, you put that in, and then, and it hasn't been there a year.
So it's been in there over a year, but what we
Oh,
did,
it has not been in there over a year. Because last summer, all summer long down on First Street, that was blocked off for,
It was open all of last summer.
whatever. But it's plain to see that it's there. And you're gonna tear it out?
some of it, yes.
Whatever. But there's a vast majority. You've got 1,000 foot of that, or 1,000 feet of that curb and gutter and sidewalk that you're gonna tear out?
No, not 1,000 feet. In the roundabout,
There's
the
3 of them.
roundabout,
There's 3 of them.
the roundabout at First Street was initially designed to be bigger than a 2-lane roundabout. And the inside diameter of it has a lot of concrete that we intentionally put there with a bigger outside circle so we could add a 2nd lane on the inside when it was deemed necessary.
Okay, I got a question to ask you. What are you gonna do in an hour from now? I'd like you to go see that and then try and justify what you're saying.
This is,
In other words, I'm saying, let's go see it. If I'm gonna buy a cow, I wanna see the damn cow. If you're gonna tell me this, I want you to see what you're telling me.
They're well aware of what they're telling you. They work out there every day.
Okay, he does. I've seen him around.
Yeah, you met with.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, yes.
Is that right? You guys met a couple weeks
Yep.
ago and he was at your place.
I don't, okay, whatever.
Do you want, I can show you a map, Mr. Coombs, if you'd like to see, we can go out there or, so this is the First Street roundabout. This is that new gas station right here and running north goes to your
This is the
place.
great big grandiose
Yeah.
roundabout. That sucker that,
Yeah. See this line that says EP on it? It's kind of
Yeah.
small. That's the existing edge of asphalt. We're taking in, this is gonna be the new layout. So we're just cutting some concrete out. The concrete that's there is going to remain. And
see, we're not
widen
even
this out.
talking the same ballgame.
Okay,
I'm talking about this curb and gutter down here.
so that curb and gutter is all gonna stay until about right. There's a chunk here that's gonna come out, but
How are you gonna do that part? Because you got cleaned out. In fact, yesterday in that too good, what's it called now?
Good to go.
Good to go. You had your construction people put down the black tarp and they were covered with rock along here.
So this is the
All
good
this
to go
down.
over here. All the good to go stuff stays. It's all that curb and gutter is gonna stay where it's at right now.
Well, I wonder where the hell the road's gonna go, because you can see right back down here on the end of this,
So
down here
there's-
where it goes.
Here's kind of it. Ties in right
Okay.
here. We take out not even 100 feet of curb here at the end. The sidewalk will remain, but we're gonna bring the curb down and then it goes.
So then this is gonna be, this road is gonna come, the road,
This is the gas
when you
station.
get done, the road's gonna go woo, and out like that.
No, this road, this is going south on 45th. Here's
Going
the-
south,
This is the gas station. We don't have the
Okay.
picture of it because it was done last year.
okay,
The road is gonna come out of the roundabout and it's gonna tie back in. We're gonna have a little patch of asphalt here to get it tapered back into the lanes down south.
this road is well within where you got your. In other words, you look down here, what you're preparing, and this, right down along here is that concrete culvert. The irrigation culvert, you got it covered with rock now.
And it'll be in the fill slope.
And
It's
that's
gonna be out,
ins- that's
it'll be out of the
in-
road. It'll still be out of the road there. It'll be in the fill slope of the, they'll have asphalt and then we'll have a fill slope that'll be covering that pipe that has rock over it right now.
But the side, then you're gonna bury that, because the sidewalk is on the east side of that culvert,
That's correct.
and you're gonna leave that in there.
The culvert,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's,
no, not the culvert, it's the sidewalk.
Sidewalk will be there, yeah.
Won't work, folks. Not according to what you've got planned, to big road on. So the road isn't gonna go over the top of the irrigation colors?
No.
South of the roundabout, we're back down to the 2-lane road. North of the roundabout is a 5-lane road.
Why?
Is it 5 lanes?
Why the 5-lane? That's my bitch.
Because the traffic studies that we hire show that it's required.
and just like you just said a minute ago, why wasn't the road put in before all these subdivisions? We're getting on par here now. There's growth happening out there. This road will be needed and it'll be ahead of.
Okay, this is my next question. Why are you letting these houses in there on those little? Why can't we get an impact fee put on these houses to help pay for this? You
Because,
pay $18 million for that damn road and you let these people drive on it for free.
because the legislature has laws that forbid us from doing.
Okay,
impact
then I got a
fees in
question.
the county.
Why did Idaho Falls put in an impact fee?
There's lawsuits being drawn up against them right now.
Okay, what about Rexburg and Rigby?
I can't speak for them. But I can tell you that we cannot do an impact fee under current state statute.
How do other people do it?
Well, cities can do it, but I can tell you that Idaho Falls is being challenged right now. And the impact fee that they put in is causing problems in the county, because now no one wants to build in the county. They're building, or in the city, Idaho Falls, they're trying to build out the county, which we don't
Because you
like.
don't have impact fees. This is
Because
my
we
question,
can't.
folks. I do not like, and I am not in favor of all this development.
Neither are we.
I've had more trouble in the last 2 years with my foreman, and I've had stuff go that just blow your mind.
Michael, I've got farms being developed around my, or property being developed and putting houses around my farm.
Last
And I
summer,
like
not last
this
summer,
idea.
not ancient history. Last summer, I had a guy take me to court.
Yeah. I hear you.
Got a bail wire. Got a New Holland bail wire. You seen him? There's a red tag
I
on
own
this
them.
side
Yeah.
and a red tag on this side. The red tag on the right-hand side has what in it?
I'm not following you. So they drop bales on each side.
No, on the tanks. They run the engine, make the machine work.
Oh,
The one on the right-hand side's got
You're deaf and you're,
yeah,
gas.
you feel.
The one on the left-hand side's got
Yeah, maybe.
hydraulic oil.
Okay.
I got a call from the lady down at the county office. You're being sued. Well, the line is long and distinguished. Well, what's this one about? There was a parent took me to court and was gonna sue me because his kid took hydraulic oil out of the hydraulic tank, put it in his motorcycle, and blew the engine. And he was taking me to court to sue me because, and it's not, there's not a label that says, this is hydraulic oil and this is gas. I lost all my siphon tubes this last summer. When you take a siphon tube, what do you do with the damn thing? Take it out of the ditch and then what? What do you do with it? Throw it up on the bank for the next time, right? You don't take it home, but I have to now.
I know, I agree. We have,
This is the bullshit that we're getting.
I know.
So I say to you, if these people don't want to come here and pay their way, fine, sell them somewhere else. Why do we have to kowtow and pay their way? This is just like Biden and the damn immigrants coming across the border.
Well, we're getting off subject of the road.
We are that. Okay,
What other questions can we answer for you?
Lenan had a question, I don't know. Where did you get permission or authority to use the $18 million of taxpayers' money to build this road?
The county commissioners board approved it and we advertised it.
No,
through
the
our-
question is, where did you get who said, okay, Mr. County, there's money's in the kitty, you can use it?
That's what your elected county commissioners do. They approved that. And that money had been set aside for years in order to do this project. We didn't raise property taxes one dime for this project.
Well, we're not gonna get anywhere. I can plainly see that, the best man I can quote is Will James. And I think you guys are in this boat. Will James said this, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. It don't make a diddly fly. What I say or do, your mind's made up, right?
I have,
Shake your head and say yes.
Well, this project's already approved and it's gonna go through. And we had to because of the growth and to control the traffic.
Okay, I got two more questions and then we're done. How do we, or have you given any consideration to us for safety?
I guess we don't understand the question. We're,
Okay. We have to drive our cars back on the driveway, on this road, right? Back out of the driveway onto the road, get on the road. You can't, they don't fly there. You have to back them out on the road.
there's enough gravel surface on your property that you can turn around and come out face forward.
There is on mine,
That's,
but on my property on 3130, you don't. The driveway is that wide and you come right straight out onto the road. So right now,
3130 is that in the,
is that on 45th East,
Yeah.
3130?
it's down the road, boys.
is that this one right here? Is this the one you're talking about?
With the circular driveway?
No, it's not gonna circulate. Maybe I got it backwards. It's 3130 or 3031.
3130 has like an angled driveway and someone probably just.
Comes in on an angle, that's correct.
Is it further?
It's the one just north, right?
3130?
It's right north, yep, that one right there,
This one?
Commissioner, nope, one down one, right there, I believe.
Well, I can tell you this,
There's gonna be, so as part of the project, there will be a defined driveway that comes out with essentially,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
farther
you're
north.
gonna accommodate the driveway, but it's not different than what it is now. Right? What you've got now is a driveway through the section that we're doing it. We're adding curb gutter and sidewalk, but we're there's only a few,
Property there.
What a bunch of crap. That curb and gutter, folks, is nothing but so much smoke and mirrors. That's bullshit.
Well,
We have to retain the water that comes off the road. Otherwise, it goes into people's frontages and has potential
Why
to flood.
don't we have the problem now?
Because the water's sitting there on the side of the road ponding. And we widen the road a little bit, we're containing the water in the county right away. It's becoming a problem throughout the state.
We had a winter that had pretty good snowfall, right?
Yeah.
We haven't had not a lick of trouble. Not a lick of trouble with the water on our lawn, water in the driveway, water anywhere. I don't think you're gonna have too many years that's got more snow than we got this year. I think this, they told us this was pretty much records. So your curb and gutter, your argument won't hold water. It won't fly. It just, folks, there's no sense bullshit anybody. It ain't gonna fly, partner.
Okay,
It ain't gonna fly.
we're gonna just disagree on that then. The curb and gutter's there for your safety and to protect your property.
So now to get on the road, we gotta back over the top of the curb and gutter.
there'll be a driveway cut out.
But it's still a distance, you still run over it. You
Yeah,
come out,
yeah,
you come out of my second house down on 3130, and I'll tell you right now. I break the law every damn time I come out there, because I pull out on the road and pull up on the lawn. I pull up on the lawn, because those people come down that road, it's your people, your guy workers, they go down that road and think it's the Indy 500. They drive down that like,
the workers,
yeah,
We-
no, the people,
just the public, yeah.
yeah, the public drive down that road like crazy. And we got two people that come out of that Greenwood Village.
Yeah, green,
They come out of there, as soon as they hit the road, you can hear it. They stomp on it and they don't even let up till they get halfway down the road. If they're not doing 70, 60, 70 mile an hour, I'll bet. And those motorcycles at night and in the morning, that one guy that's got that Kawasaki motorcycle, I'd like to break his head.
What other questions can we answer for you?
Well, I pretty much got what Lynn Ann said. You're not gonna get any out of it. But Eagle Rock Sanitation will not let their big truck, their big garbage truck.
is it a front dump? Or is it just a side grab with the canister?
I think it's a side grab.
I'll,
They came and knocked on the door and says, would you permit us? See, I've been on my driveway, you see my driveway.
yeah, which, the home you currently live in?
Yeah, 2660,
Yeah, the one with the sewer problem that you had.
Yeah.
Okay,
we got that straightened out there. They came in, the guy was nice.
who's the company? Eagle, is it Eagle
It's
Rock
Eagle Rock
Sanitation?
Sanitation.
Okay, I will,
They were really nice. Come and said, would you allow us to get in your driveway and turn around? So he says, because it's not safe for our truck to back out on the road. And the guy was nice. And I can see that big truck out on the road. That's just asking for trouble.
Right.
just for your garbage, or he doesn't want to go down the,
No, he picks up our garbage and pulls in the driveway, then turns around and goes back. Then he goes back to the south. I don't know. That's his business. But this looks to me like if it's not safe for them to pull their, and then it's not safe for my wife to get out there either. That's. I still think this, folks, it's gonna cost me a whole bundle of money. It's gonna cost me our house are gonna be bad, but they're gonna go down. They're not gonna go up.
Well,
I ask you, would you like that road in front of your house?
where I live, no, but I don't live in a developing area of the city.
Would you, this is straight out, this is a hypothetical. Would you appreciate and like that road in front of your house?
If I lived where you did, yes.
Where you are right now, would you like that
Of
fiber?
course not. I'm 10 miles outside the city.
Well,
amount
I
of farm.
wish the crap I lived there too.
Yeah.
That's when we bought that place 20 years ago, that's where we were at.
Yeah, I know.
45th East is a section line road, and it will be, it is considered an arterial road. An arterial road will carry more and more traffic over the time as more and more traffic is generated. It is
Okay, then
an
ask,
arterial
help me
road.
out. What can we, in other words, this is, I'm speaking for, for the landowners. We had a meeting last night, there was about 10 of us in my front room. What can we do to protect ourselves? Is there any way that we can get you people to protect us and stop it? Okay,
Stop the
I ask you,
construction.
why don't you, and these new subdivisions, why don't you say, okay, you gotta be on 3/4 of an acre. This 1/4 acre lot crap. What's that gonna be, folks? I mean, let's take the blinders off. What are those homes gonna be in that are 1/4 acre lots? What are they gonna be in 15 years from now? Most of those homes now are bought by young kids who are doing what? Getting some equity to buy another home. Yes?
I bet there's some of that. I don't think it's 100% of
Oh,
those.
no, it's not hard. But I'm saying it's enough that it's, makes you wonder.
Yeah. All I
The reason I say that so specifically, our ward comes from across that Green Valley, is it Green Valley or Green what?
Green Valley.
Green Valley. The people in our ward come from that Green Valley, and they're moving out. They stay there long enough to get some equity, and then they move to a bigger place. And I can see where they're coming from. Those houses are so, that one that Ryan lived, he bought, it's so damn close, he couldn't get his pickup. He couldn't drive his truck to get the dirt in the backyard between the two houses. He had to take it in a wheelbarrow.
That is.
Why can't you? This is what we did down home. People came down and they just taken out the farm down and built homes on it. Went to it, that neighbors went to, as for Basgard says, make them have at least 5 acres. Well, we can't go 5. So they put it to 2. You have to have 2 acres to build a home down in Utah, Nebo County. It didn't stop it.
The way the county's planning and zoning is designed is.
You'll never get it passed.
Unless, well, out where I am, you can't develop, you only have division rights. And so like on my farms, most of them, I can only put 1 or 2 houses on the property.
See, that's like mine is.
That's the division rights of the county. But when you're near a subdivision that's already been developed, then that landowner, if you chose to develop your property, you would have that right because you're right next to developed property. And so that encourages cities to kind of grow from inside out, and it accounts for the growth. But all I can tell you, Mike, is that I'm right with you. I hate the growth. I hate the influx that's happening. I hate seeing farm ground turned into houses. I'm right there with you. But people have property rights. And unfortunately for you and I, if they live in an area where they can develop their land and they choose to do it, they have a property right just like you and I do.
Okay, let them develop it.
Yeah.
But curtail it into the size a little bit.
And this is the other hard part, so the darker blue is where the census is saying.
No, I didn't hear you say it again here.
In that dark blue,
Yeah.
that's where the census is saying all of the growth is coming into the county. So the darker blue you get, the more you're going to get people coming in and dividing. And so that's the other hard part that we're looking at with growth, is how do we make for the projection of growth that the census is making.
But we're with you. We're doing everything we can to limit the growth out in the ag areas. It's hard for us to
So the
limit.
ground that I own I've got a 20-acre piece of ground right there on Iowa. And I got the letter from the county saying, I only have one, I can only put one house on it.
Mhm.
But the thing that bugs me, and this is something the road's gonna have to, let's face it, folks, I gotta drive my tractor and baler. I got that big baler, big tractor, the accumulator. I drive that up and down that road to those fields, and I'll tell you what, I've been called
Yeah.
lots of names.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we've got another
Okay,
group coming
like I
in here
say,
at 9 o'clock.
I appreciate your time. and your effort.
I'm really glad you came in, Mike, because we did find that we have a problem here in front of your property. You own this property, the mapping right now is incorrect. And so Trish is gonna get that fixed to reflect, exactly where your property line is. And they will make sure that they keep the curving sidewalk outside of your property. It won't encroach on your property.
Okay, I appreciate it.
And I hope that we've always treated you respectfully and have never called you a name, because I would never do that.
I can't, I believe you, and I appreciate your honesty. I do. But I can tell you this, like I say, there has been a time in my life, I've been very, you wanna pick a fight, I'll meet you halfway.
Well, I'm way past that age myself.
Well, I'm
so
getting to where that
I
now.
don't wanna pick a fight with you.
Well, I still had a fight last summer with a guy over water.
Water, you don't mess with a man's water or his wife. Those are the two things that you shall worry about.
But you don't, that's the thing we get, this guy from California. God almighty, he's got 2 acres. And he's, there was a sale of trees. So he planted the whole damn thing in trees. He's gotta have the water every 10 days. Last summer, where was the water? It was all curtailed.
Yeah.
We had the water for 7 days, once a month. He wanted it for 2 days. And he just took it. Needless to say, we didn't,
Yeah, you can't do that.
It's not me alone. I was gonna tell you, I wish Jefferson was there about the zoning ordinance in Jefferson. That's the one you like at the bishop face.
Yeah.
Somebody next to Mr. Ballpark. Oh, yeah, that's the causation. So at least here, there's a little better. Jefferson is just free roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. We thought maybe I know how to line it up. Couple of weeks, down the course. They loaded that course up. Shoot on it.
So once we get to that parcel, it's.
So we widen out there. That's all.
Yep, she's doing perfect. Yep, yep.
Keep you warm.
Yep, you can do that.
Good luck.
Mike, you holler at us out there, those contractor, anyways, I give you my card, you call us, if there's, with construction, I'll take all your complaints all day long, so. You send it my way, especially safety, that's our number one out there. So please, it does something.
HK's out there now, they're moving a bit pipe.
Yeah,
And the guy's, nice, he's got that big 98 loader moving most pipes. And he does, he's pretty cautious, about that. And he backs down at night. I don't care, I'll work with you. Should I
shouldn't
run?
be down your property at all.
If he wants to back that loader down there, go for it. He can compact it.
Got anything you can move for him, or?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll, right now, we probably don't wanna, let's say it's all worked out, we don't wanna purchase anything for future, we'll just keep it in that right away. In the prescriptive, sort of the whole thing, if we need it.
just.
Exactly.